everybody. Welcome to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And today we are continuing our BCS series. However, we are no longer running this as a legacy series because we finally have the 2021 base BCS and a couple of the variants. We have a lot of the other ones too.
Yeah.
But for this video, we're just going to showcase these three, kind of some of the easier to find versions.
Yeah, I would say the main three ones that they had out.
Yeah. These are a little bit easier to find. Always fun to kind of compare the base to what they're kind of doing with a couple of these other variants. So we've talked a lot about BCS. Links to our other BCS videos will be in the description. But we're going to dive right into these things tonight. So Ross, what are we trying first?
So first will be the 2021 base. We've done the 2019 and the 2020 base on this episode. So this is going to be very much what you got with your bourbon, with your chocolate and vanilla. Pretty much exactly what you expect with a BCS. This year's version comes in at 14.4%. So it's up there. I think it's right in line with where they've been in the past years. As we always know, it's a big beer.
Yeah, they typically have a couple of different ABVs on these. I think historically that was just because of like different state laws and stuff that they had to get this pushed through, but I don't think that's an issue anymore. So 14.4 is a big beer.
Yeah, I think when we did the 2019, we liked both 2019 and 2020. I think we kind of said the 2019 was a bit more sharp with the bourbon and the 2020 was much more smooth. 2020
was a lot more fudgy, chocolatey.
Yeah. Yep.
Neither one of us have tried the 2021 yet, so let's get a little nose on this thing and see what we think about the 2021 BCS. Ooh.
I mean, classic on the nose. You get the bourbon, you get a little bit of vanilla. Some of the fudge is coming through, but mainly the bourbon and vanilla.
Yeah, mostly bourbon and vanilla on the nose. The bourbon is pretty bright on the nose in this, so I think maybe even a little more prominent than I remember from the 2020 that we just had recently. Are you checking your mic to make sure it's working?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
You're paranoid about it now.
I love it.
He's screwed up our audio so many times, guys. That's really what the problem is. So, every time. We'll just blame you. Yeah, like you said, mostly bourbon and vanilla on the nose, a little bit of fudgy, oaky, kind of imperial stout notes, but let's check it out.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
So, again, because we just did the 2019 and 2020, this one compares much more to the 2020, I think. The bourbon's there. It's not sharp. It doesn't bite. You get really a lot of that like chocolatey fudge and some of the vanilla coming through. I don't want to call it sweet, but it's definitely not bourbon forward as we've had in the past, I think, the 2019.
Yeah, I feel like this is a more well-blended iteration of BCS. So I think what I would say is it's less fudgy than the 2020. It's less bourbon forward than the 2019. It's a lot better blended, but definitely the vanilla fudge characteristics are there. But it's really well blended. It's pretty straight level, I think, across the board, which actually makes it a very, very drinkable, good release of this. Actually,
we're kind of talking about this, and we're almost kind of making it sound boring. It's still fantastic. It's still really, really good. I mean, all the taste notes, everything you want out of a BCS is always there. It's really tasty. So
yeah. Definitely more bourbon on this than the 2020, but I mean, I think people that are going for this beer and looking for it, they want that bourbon characteristic there. I really liked the fudgy character of the 2020, and I'm glad I still have a few of those around, but this is really solid.
I really like this. Yeah, it's really good. If I'm looking to put this one on Untappd, I want to say 4.5. I'm going to say 4.25.
Yeah.
I think it's right there. I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle there. I'm going to say 4.25.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really solid. It's exactly what you want when you get a base BCS.
I'm going to go right along with you. I think that's what we put the 2019 at. And I think we ranked the 2020 last year at a 4.5. Both of us did. I would put this slightly under the 2022. So I would put this at a 4.25.
Yeah. Like if I were to rank them, like I would say 2020, 2021, 2019.
Yeah.
That's how I would put them in.
Yeah, agreed. Well, good stuff. That's a good start. Everything is based off what that base beer is doing. So the next one we're going to be trying here is the Cherry Wood. Now, this is a unique entry in the series. So this Cherry Wood is the base bourbon barrel-aged stout, but then they added basically honeycomb pieces of cherry wood into secondary fermentation. So sitting in those barrels with with the Bourbon County Stout should add a different kind of like woody character to this. I think the important call out is this is not a cherry beer. It's cherry wood that was used in secondary and as it was aging. So this is going to be unique. They haven't done anything quite like this before. This one comes in at 14.2%, so slightly under the base. Let's get a little nose on this and see what it's like compared to the base beer.
I'm not getting much of a bourbon. I'm not getting a lot of bourbon on the nose compared to the base.
I'm getting a lot more fudge on this, like chocolatey notes, chocolate vanilla.
I'm getting more of the vanilla, I think. Not as much of the chocolate, much more of the vanilla.
The bourbon seems more subdued.
Yep.
I wonder if maybe that's like the cherry wood and the barrels, like also taking in some of that bourbon, so the bourbon character's a little bit
I anticipate
lighter.
some smokiness on this. I'm not getting anything at all. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I think I just assumed, like, oh, wood, cherry wood.
I don't really know what cherry wood smells like, though.
I just think because of the,
I guess my point was I can't pick it out in this
that's
beer.
fair.
Like, it's not that far off the base, other than I think the bourbon notes are more subdued.
I would agree.
So, all right. Let's give the cherry wood a shot. Cheers.
You can tell me this isn't a cherry beer. I'm tasting cherries.
Really?
I'm tasting like some dark fruit. And maybe it's just like a sweeter vanilla that's coming through, but I'm getting like almost like a dark fruit characteristic to this one a little bit.
This is really tasty. I'm not getting cherry. I think, maybe more of that dark fruit raisin type character kind of coming through a little bit. I can tell it's like there's a little bit more of a wood character to it, I guess. Like, it's not prominent, but there's definitely something else going on in this beer that's not there in the base. But what I think happened with this, just my impression of it, first couple sips, is it's kind of tamed down the base BCS a little bit and smoothed it out even more. I actually feel like this is kind of close to the 2020 BCS, like with a little bit more of maybe that dark fruit character to it.
That's a good comparison. I like that. I mean, I really like this one.
I like this more than the base.
100%. So where are you putting this one on Untappd?
I'm going to put this at a 4.5. I think it definitely has earned that. It's definitely a little step up on the base. I like how smooth it is. Based on how much we liked the 2020 BCS, I'm not surprised with how I feel like this compares to that I'm liking it more than the base.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think 4.5. Honestly, I think this one actually teetered between 4.5 and 4.75. I think 4.5 is a more appropriate score. It's really smooth. It's got that nice vanilla sweetness. I'm getting
a lot more vanilla. Yeah.
I'm getting some of that dark fruit, which again I could be confusing with just a sweet vanilla. This is really tasty. To your point, it's super smooth. So
yeah. Good stuff. Well, that's a great iteration.
Yeah,
I'm glad I
well
picked
done.
up a couple extras of those because I'm wondering how that one will age out in the cellar. So what are we doing last?
So last is their Coca-Cola Stout. So this one's
not
pretty...
Coca-Cola, just Classic Cola.
Sorry, you're correct.
Coke is not a sponsor.
Classic Cola Stout. So this is crafted out of friendship, our take on the classic American cola. I don't know what they did or what they added to it to get stout aged in bourbon barrels with brown sugar, citrus, coriander spices, and actual vanilla flavors. So, and this one comes in at 14%. So, a smaller beer.
Yeah. Super light.
Yeah.
I think what they were going for with this is they were trying to get you somewhere close to like a whiskey and cola, whiskey and Coke type thing, and get as close to that cola characteristic as they could. Interesting decision from Goose Island to go this route.
I don't remember anything like this that they've done in the past.
No, I would have probably preferred them to go back to the wheat wine, caramella style stuff. Yeah. I'm a little timid about trying this because I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. But before we make that decision, let's get a little nose on it.
Before we make the decision, got it.
Whoa.
Ooh, I don't know what. It kind of does smell like a whiskey Coke.
It does.
You know, not a good whiskey, not Jack, but...
I just get a lot of bourbon on the nose. quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting any of the other, like, maybe a little bit more sweetness behind this, but not like the fudgy chocolate sweetness.
No.
Like, I guess closer to a cola if you had to pick something.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that based on that's what it says on the bottle.
I mean, it's there. If you really kind of get in there, you do smell kind of like that classic cola taste. I mean, I think we're also looking for it a bit.
We are.
I wonder if that's maybe some of the citrus and everything coming through with the bourbon is causing
Could
that.
be.
So.
All right.
Well, cheers.
Let's give it a shot. Cheers, buddy. Oh, man.
Whoa.
It's definitely cola.
Yeah, it's
What is that, though, that we're tasting? Does it say on here? No, it really doesn't. Oh, coriander. That's probably what it is. I think that's coriander, that spice. Brown sugar. That's got to be what's causing that, like, sweet, kind of like dark sweet note out the back that kind of gives that cola feel to it.
It's jarring compared to what we've just had, in my opinion. Like, I don't mean that like necessarily a bad way.
It's not in a bad way.
It's just so different from what we've had so far, especially anything at BCS. It just hits you different than anything else I've had from them so far.
I do think I like this a little more than I was expecting. Not my favorite variant they've ever done.
I'm actually kind of feeling the opposite. I thought I was going to really like this, and I'm not liking it as much as I hoped I would.
There's like kind of you get bourbon on the front and almost like a syrupy like sweetness on the front, and then out the back you get kind of that coriander, brown sugar, like cola sweetness out the back. I mean, it's not bad. I wouldn't make this again though, Goose Island. Like, go to something more standardized. But if you look at the rest of what was available this year in the release, this is the one that's like the most out there.
It is,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
Like, this is kind of the wild card. Is this going to be good? I don't think they failed. I think they succeeded in what they were going for with this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that's a good way of knowing it. Is if you go into expecting to taste exactly what it says, they hit it in every head.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just it's not what I want with the Goose Island, BCS, I should say. If I'm putting this one on Untappd, I'm going to say probably 3.75.
3.75.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Still it's well above average, but it's just it's not my favorite.
I'm going to give it a 3.5. This is probably my least favorite.
So you had really low expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I mean, it's a very drinkable beer. It's not poor by any stretch of the imagination. The 3.5 is right under our average score on this channel, which we just determined the other day as we updated our Untappd. Thank you, Ross. I think it's a decent beer. It's probably my least favorite variant, though, of BCS that I've tried that I can recall.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. So thanks for checking this video out. There will be more BCS videos coming. I don't know that I have a time frame to set for you on that, but we're going to take our time with some of these other variants that we've got coming for you. Stick around and look for those in future episodes. Check us out on the rest of our social media. We are on Untappd, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch our videos 87 times. We need those views. Get those clicks coming through. We would appreciate it, but we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we are almost officially 1 year into this. Look for a 1-year review episode coming up sometime here in the near future. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.